Wonder what he was doing.
Oh, he was fucking his pig.
Pretty much.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. It's a impromptu episode of. I guess it's just an impromptu podcast. I'd like to have a name for it, but I don't. So it's just
meeting of the minds, Joe. Meeting of the minds. It's a Mensa meeting.
We'll think of a name. Actually, you know what? Best name in the chat down below, in the comments down below. We'll just call it that. But I got Tommy here with me. I got Jake. It's Jake DeMarco. Countdown ended. Tommy NC 2010 from YouTube and me, and we're all here. And the first thing that we really want to talk about has got to be the Joker trailer that came out today. It's not just one of those teasers that you know. I mean, I remember talking about this a while back. You know, when they were first putting the little scenes out there and stuff like that. But yeah, 6 hours ago they released the 2-minute and 30-something second full-on trailer.
Yeah, you had talked about when they did the tester footage and then the subway scene that they had leak, air quotes around leak. But now there's so many comparisons coming out between Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger, and I see it in some regards, obviously, especially with this trailer with the green hair and the suit and the way the makeup kind of looks in some of the angles. But this really feels like it is his own interpretation.
Honestly,
it doesn't
dude,
feel like Jared Leto's Joker, where it was like trying to be something it's not.
This reminds me of there's two things. This reminds me of the Joker from the old TV series. I forget the guy's name.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tommy! Is this gonna be the whole show, Tommy?
Okay, just a second. Let me just jump on my PC, and I will. Let me just jump on my PC. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, dude! Just turn it on fucking silent.
Yeah, just put it on silent. You're good.
I'll be back.
He doesn't know how to do that, dude.
The 60s one that was
yeah, so it reminds
Cesar Romero.
Cesar Romero. It reminds me of that, but also like the look a little bit. So that it reminds me of that, but it's also the fucking Killing Joke or whatever you call it, right? It's like the
yeah, it has that.
And then it's also
it even kind of harkens to what they did with the Animated Adventures with Mark Hamill at times too.
Yeah, so I mean, this is not new, but it's kind of like I want to say it's like a hybrid Joker of all these Jokers. The one thing that I'm somebody who cares about like canon and where things are going. So like the one thing I'm only hung up on is the fact that this is like a one-off, I guess. Like this is just a one-off sort of individual Joker story that
it's just an origin story that
but it's
supposed to be a depressing thriller, a psychological thriller.
But it's an origin story that will basically end up with no continuation.
Yeah, it's supposed to just be an isolated, it's not going to further itself into the DC universe at all. I mean, they're rebooting Suicide Squad with the director of Guardians of the Galaxy there. What's his name? I always forget.
James Gunn?
James Gunn. So they are completely eradicating.
Has anyone seen a 5-year-old?
They are completely eradicating the memories of everything bad that came with the Suicide Squad movie that came out a few years back. And they're doing that over entirely. Will Smith already said that he won't be there. And the only good things from it, I guess, from Suicide Squad.
Why don't you go take care of your weird kids, Will, you fuck?
Yeah. So Margot Robbie is doing the Birds of Prey movie. And that's pretty much what anybody liked from Suicide Squad was her rendition of Harley Quinn.
Yeah. She was great.
It was good. It was better than... That was the thing. That movie was so odd that she obviously shined above the rest. But
it just sucks when you get to the point where it's like, oh man, you got to, you have to like restart something and something that's out there. It seems like that's been going on a lot recently, where it's like, oh, if only you could erase that movie, and like that's no good. When you start doing that, you really start fucking up the characters and doing damage to the series. It's like I feel that way about some of the DC stuff, including that especially. And then I feel that way about like Star Wars 8. So it just feels like lots of that is going on right now, where like you when you see a movie and you're like, oh well, I didn't think it was the best, but oh well, but then sometimes you see movies and you're like, man, they got it so right every time. I can't believe it. They get it right every time. Like imagine if they screwed up one time, like how devastating that would be. Well, yeah, we've seen it now, as far as I'm concerned. So it's too bad when they screw it up.
Yeah,
but
I mean, this is supposed to be a full, individual, as you said, story, but it's also like a character interpretation of their own. They're doing it as like a love story to Scorsese films. So not only is it a gritty origin story, but it's PG-13, I guess, as well. But it's really an homage to Scorsese movies. It's supposed to have that kind of crime drama thrill to it. So.
But it's also like there's a movie from back in the day or a little while back that it's based on as well. I can't remember, about a comedian. I can't think of the name of that movie, but it's kind of like...
Oh, yeah. What is it?
It's based on that as well.
Rupert Pumpkin is the character's name.
I think, yeah.
The kid, no. Shoot.
But
I remember watching that movie.
It's also, again, it's like there's a Batman comic that it's based on as well, and it's also based on, like we said, the look of the Joker is clearly taken from the series, the TV series with who was the actor again? Yeah, it's kind of like a Spanish name or something like that. Forget his name.
Cesar Romero.
Cesar Romero. Yeah, that's what it is. Cesar Romero. Like the look is that look, but updated. So,
interesting fact about Cesar Romero: he would not shave his mustache when he did the Joker.
Yeah, I remember you saying that one time. Like they'd like cake on the makeup over it.
Yes, and I'm like, it's kind of like with Superman. You remember? Because Superman wouldn't. He wouldn't shave his mustache apparently, so they had to CGI his mouth in one of the Superman movies.
That looked retarded. I mean, like,
I didn't notice it. I don't know which movie it was, but I guess I just can't see like really crappy CGI. I guess when it comes to mustaches, so I didn't notice it really, in my opinion.
By the way, I want to shout out to Kevin Hiob for I gotta say his name right, last name right. I can't really read it from here, but I think he went from $5 to $10 just now. Kevin, thanks, man, appreciate it. Hit me up so I can pronounce your name the right way the next time, because I'm kind of stupid.
Yeah, I mean, this is they list it here as intended to be the first in a series of DC-based films separate from the DC extended universe. So that is kind of misleading. But this is specifically, as we said before, a one-off, because then they're going to have Birds of Prey, and I mean they already had Aquaman. They're doing things away from Justice League and that amalgamation. So
right,
but. I mean, so far for what you have in this movie, I mean, Robert De Niro is going to be a talk show host. We have Joaquin Phoenix, obviously, as Arthur Fleck, a.k.a. the Joker. And the trailer looked just really eerie at times. I like the way that it's being presented. It's
I like
very
the darkness.
Unique. Yeah.
The soundtrack is amazing, too. One thing about Joaquin Phoenix is, he's a very deep actor. He really gets into his roles. And I really want to see how deep he goes into this role. Because he is really good. He's a good method actor. Like, a lot of actors, there are some actors out there that are really good method actors. I want to see how far he's going to go into this character. Because I just hope he doesn't disappoint. Because, for the longest time, we've wanted Joaquin Phoenix to play the Joker because he'd be a perfect Joker because he's played a lot of crazy characters.
Yeah, I mean he's a really good actor, man. This is a great casting because you need someone who's believable to do these sorts of things,
absolutely. Even the opening shot with him, what looks to be like he was in therapy, and he has this terrible scowl on his face, and then he just switches it to a smile. It's unsettling.
Yeah,
it's very creepy.
Me out. He's just like, sir, how do you feel about that? Just that psychotic grin. That's that psychotic, just look on his face is just like, I'm mad.
It finally feels like the world, beat someone down enough to make them snap, rather than have them, thrown into a vat of acid or, be tortured in a psych ward or, whatever. It's just the world destroyed this man's soul. He had hope. He had a brevity about himself, and it was just beaten down and destroyed time and time again until he snapped.
What's funny because
it looks like he has a family. There's one bit that he's sitting there and he's dumping water on this kid's head.
I thought it was his mother, to be honest with you, but
yeah,
still,
I saw his mom being in it. He's gonna be this is a soy boy type of thing, right? Where the mom, the guy that uses his mom's gun to kill people and stuff like this is that, I feel like. And, I tweeted out earlier something along the lines of that somebody said on the trailer, guy named, I can't even pronounce the guy's name, but I tweeted it out. He said, creating the Joker in 1989. To create the Joker in 1989, throw him into wasted chemical. Creating the Joker in 2019, throw him into society.
Yeah, see, perfect example.
And it's fucking hilarious because even though this movie apparently takes place in the 80s or whatever, it's like that's true, man. The world is crazy. I found out how crazy the world was earlier when I was on Twitter, and I made that mistake of tweeting that, hey, is it wrong that I have a Dukes of Hazzard t-shirt from back in the day?
Oh, I know.
You see that fight? I had to leave the fucking thread because people are crazy.
Yeah.
I had to leave the thread, dude. Like, what? Because I had a Dukes of Hazzard t-shirt. I know the Confederate flag is looked at as racist now, but that's not what it was looked at when I was a fucking 5-year-old and Dukes of Hazzard was on TV.
Up until even recently, I saw even somebody, it was a black gentleman that posted a picture of him, holding the Confederate flag. It was on Facebook, and he said something about, like, Southern pride, and it wasn't
I interviewed
what
him.
It meant. Did you? Yeah. See,
yeah, he's on my channel.
Wow.
And
yeah, I remember that.
This guy got destroyed. And it was another one recently that kind of did the same thing. And people were like, oh, go back to your plantation. Like, it's like, wow, you really have to go there over, symbols have power, but it's the power you give them.
Yeah, people are very weird, dude. Like, I got to say, like Cody Rhodes started it. He tweeted out, if you wear the Dixie flag in 2019, you're a dickhead or something like that. And it was like...
Yeah, go let your wife grab a guy's junk again and get suplexed. It's like
I don't know. It's just like it's like I don't get it. Like I mean I get it because at one point I sort of said the same thing, but also at one point I used to wear that the Dukes of Hazzard shirts because I was a fan of the show. And somebody was like, well, and I talked about this on Morning Madness on Patreon earlier, but somebody was like, well, what you're just doing that to cover up so you can get away with it. And then he was like, because nobody wears T-shirts from a show from back then or whatever. And I was like, really? From my childhood? I've got fucking Ninja Turtles T-shirts, you idiot.
I mean, there's even such an issue right now, a hotbed issue, because there's a school district named Dixie, and they've been protested basically upon to have their name changed.
Dude, people are afraid of names.
Dixie's name change, and that evoked a big civil rights argument, and it turned into this big movement, essentially, but a 2-mile walk of an effort to change the name of Dixie School District.
Walk for some real shit. Like, what are people doing?
Exactly.
Walk for
it's
real
like
things.
Dixie must go. Dixie equals racism, and you have all these white folks.
God.
They're all white.
I know it's white people. It is. You're the problem again, but for a different reason.
I see one black pastor, and then the whole crowd is white. I support the change. And I forget which comedian said it, but there's nothing worse than being offended for someone else. It's basically you're telling that person you're too stupid to realize you're offended, so I'll be offended for you.
These people look at black people like fucking pets.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, these SJWs... They get to
feel powerful for being offended for them.
Yeah, these white people that are, like, offended and are guilty of everything, they look at black people like pets. Like, I'm going to use you so I can seem virtuous. That's fucking sick and weird, dude. These people are sick and weird. This society is fucked, dude. This Joker movie couldn't be any more on the point, you know what I mean? On point what we're going to see. You're going to see more shootings and more stabbings and more mass shootings and more of this shit because these are the type of people that do this. These are them. The guy that was yelling at me, what, because I made a joke about, like, I'm like, oh, do I have to throw out my Dukes of Hazzard t-shirts? By the way, I don't even have any, like, right now. I just made, it was like a joke, like, hey, should I throw out my Dukes of Hazzard t-shirts because that flag's racist or whatever? It's like, it's not a Nazi flag. It's a symbol that can mean different things.
Yeah.
And maybe it only means one thing. And of course, the thing that can be the worst thing it's revolved around. It's like that girl that was like, well, I was called the N-word by people who wore that shirt in school. Yeah? And I've seen white people beaten by people who have BLM shirts on. It doesn't matter. Or I've seen people killed by a guy wearing a red t-shirt. Does that mean ban red T-shirts or blue T-shirts?
And assaulted for my choice of bands and liking wrestling. You know, I wore a wrestling shirt, and that symbol offended people.
Yeah,
and led to me getting bullied. And I liked, you know, bands like Slipknot, and that led to me getting ostracized. And, you know, it's the same thing. It's a status symbol, or a symbol that, you know, equates to a status symbol.
I had a black guy run into me at Mardi Gras and say, "Get out of my way, you fucking white bitch," or "white boy," or something like that to me. I didn't think, oh my God, like, according to her, now I should want to ban black people because they were the ones that bullied me at one point. You know, yeah, what if I was bullied by a group of black people in high school and they were like, "You're a cracker, die, whitey," and stuff like that? So by her means, I should grow up wanting to ban and get rid of black people. It's like,
I'm not saying racism isn't real and that it doesn't exist. It does, and it's a terrible thing.
No, we don't even need to say that. Of course it's real. Of course there's really racism and there's really bullies, but that doesn't mean ban all the symbols and stuff.
Exactly. It's not like it's N-word university, you know?
Yeah, and listen, I don't even like the Confederate flag. I don't even care about the Confederate flag. That's the point. These guys are sitting here arguing with me. It's like, dude, you're arguing with the wrong person. I don't even care about the Confederate flag, but I like the General Lee car because the car is from Dukes of Hazzard. It looks cool, and it looked cool with the flag on it. What?
Yeah.
It's a Dodge Charger.
Yeah, bro, that's my favorite car because of that show. I love that car. I love that look.
They destroyed a lot of those cars when they shot that show.
That's awesome, dude.
The movie,
they would jump
them
and they would demolish them, and then they get another car. They had a factory where they built those cars, and they would just ship them out to the set so they could film with them every single day when they would jump the cars.
They beat the shit out of that car, dude. Like, those cars, man. Like, you could tell they'd do these jumps, and the thing would like come down, like smashing the axle, and the tires would wobble everywhere. And
then they'd cut, and the car would just keep driving away, like it would no damage.
Well, in the show, you're like, wow, that's just awesome. But like in real life, yeah, they probably were like, all right, bring in the next one. They just broke the CV axle.
There was one day, there was like two rednecks who were sitting down drinking beers, and they're just like,
honkies.
"Hey, Vern, what? Let's go jump the Charger off the bridge tonight and see if we can make it across there." "You're stupid, I just bought that thing, but it's crazy, but why don't we do it?" It's like, okay, let's fucking do it.
I have a weird feeling this is your family, Tommy, that you're talking about right now.
How many Chargers do you think were destroyed?
Orlando, so like I'm not deep southern, okay?
Well, that's really deep south. That's way down there.
That's
Orlando. Well, I don't consider Florida to be the South.
That's the South.
What do you?
There's no.
I didn't even know what
it.
sweet tea was.
It's just
I lived
water.
In Florida, okay.
I mean, Tommy, you literally can't get any more southern U.S. than Florida. Like, it sticks out like beyond the country.
I know, but the thing is that
you mean culturally. No, you don't know, because you just said that it's not the South. Where is it? Where's the South? Boston? I'm in the North. Where are you?
Western North Carolina.
Well, that's like the southeast.
South, essentially, yeah.
I mean, but Florida is the South, but I think you mean culturally.
Not even that South, but it is labeled as.
I really never heard a Southern accent until I actually moved up here to North Carolina. Honest.
I'll tell you how South Florida is. Let me virtue signal for a minute. Florida is so south that you can stalk a little black kid who might just be on the way to the store, and you can have a weapon. Then you can engage in a fucking fight with the kid, and then shoot him and get away with it. But if you're a black woman and you fire a warning shot at your husband who you think is going to kill you, and you don't hurt anybody, but you fire a warning shot, you get 15 years in prison.
Yeah, you're going to jail.
So how's that for that? I don't think it gets any more south than Florida. But anyway, I'm just fucking around with you, Tommy. But I'm not though. But I think I know what you mean though. It's not like that. You're thinking of like you're treating this. You consider the South that
like,
or
what would you consider South, Tommy? Georgia?
No, he means like Alabama, yeah, and Georgia.
North Carolina is kind of like the South, and Georgia.
But you just said it wasn't South and North Carolina.
Man, you are confusing me.
Because really, one of the things that blew my mind when I first moved up here is I was seeing so many people putting ranch on pizza, and I was like.
Fuck yeah, dude! I do that. I'll do that. That shit's awesome. I'll fucking do that.
As well, gotta dip the crust.
Hell yeah, bro! On buffalo pizza too, especially.
Oh yeah, especially.
I had never seen that before. It blew my mind when I first moved up here.
What is that? The answer was 300. They destroyed 300 Chargers.
What the
in 7
wow.
seasons.
But wait a minute, what the hell does that have to do with Southern people? Ranch dressing? Is that a...
He was just saying that, the food...
But what does ranch dressing have to do with Southern people? Is that a Southern thing?
I'm guessing, what
do you mean? Because it says... Because the word ranch is in it? Is that what you're thinking?
No,
what the fuck?
I had never seen, when I grew up in Florida, I never saw people... I've only seen people put ranch on a salad, and I've never seen somebody put ranch on a pizza. That's when I first saw... Somebody actually put ranch on a pizza when I moved up here.
Okay. I mean, I don't see it a lot, but I do see it. I do it. Maybe it's a northern thing. You ever think about that?
Maybe. Because maybe it isn't. Your northerners are affecting the southerners,
I don't know, man. I eat everything and anything. So the thing about me is I don't know these
Me too, Joe.
Well, I know.
Well, I have a limit to what I'll eat.
No, you don't. Yeah, honestly. You do. I eat everything.
I have certain things that just make me want to throw up.
See, so you won't eat everything. You literally just said, "Yeah, me too. I eat everything." But then I don't know if that was a joke about you being fat, but but then you said, "But I have a limit, and I won't eat these things." Tommy, I will
not eat squash. I will not eat macaroni.
See, that's weird. I'll eat those. I'll eat everything. I will eat everything. Find me something I won't eat.
I will not eat green beans when they're put together in the big piece.
They're not put together. They come that way.
When they're processed.
So you're talking about you only eat green beans if they are cut.
And they're separately little balls.
Those are peas.
Peas, yeah, peas. I only eat peas.
That's a different vegetable.
It's different entirely.
Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ!
I'm sorry.
You have a diploma!
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that.
I will only eat... Oh, my God.
I only eat the circle ones.
Oh, my God, dude. I will only eat green beans if they're put together. They're not put together. No, green beans come together. Well, no, I'll only eat the pieces of them. Though those are peas. Oh! What the fuck are we... What is fuck... What the fuck?
How did we get here from the Joker?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. Tommy, I so badly want to...
What happened was...
I want to be...
Hazard got us derailed.
I want to... Oh, my God, dude. I want to say it. I want to say the worst thing ever right now. But I don't mean it because I love Tommy, but I want to say the worst thing ever, but I can't. I want to call you a retard. I want to do it. I want to call you a retard.
Today myself,
you called me many times in my face, Joe.
I'm a retard. That's the thing is that retard doesn't mean what it I think means to you. I call myself I'm retarded.
I think you should say you're being retarded. Not
you're
you
being
are retarded.
No, because then I don't know it's. Because that's I don't want to insult people.
I know semantics.
I don't insult people that are really retarded. People who are really retarded, have a tough life to struggle through, and you can't really compare it.
You're not even supposed to say that anymore.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit because it's just a word, and it doesn't mean
exactly.
that. See, it doesn't mean that to me.
Power to.
Yeah,
just like Dixie,
Yeah, if people get upset about words,
that's stupid.
I'm
still hung up on that. That they're marching to have the school's name changed.
Yeah, maybe they should march for some real shit. March for Betsy DeVos, who's in charge of the school system, and she's a cunt. March for fucking the EPA. Guy who's basically putting our planet to hell. March for that stuff, just don't march for oh no the word it's nobody's march for the God I'm gonna flip the hell out, guys.
It's like people sending this guy death threats because he was building he's an artist, he's building a giant wall of cheese along the US-Mexico border. It's like spoiled cheese curd that he's, he was doing it as a symbol.
Cheese curd.
Horse
curd.
A wall of cheese is something I've wanted to do for 20 years. When you come to a barrier or a boundary, you want to, expand beyond it. But he didn't get his way until President Donald Trump started demanding a border wall. So now he's doing it as to make an emotional impact.
Yeah.
And he was streaming some of his building on Facebook, and people were sending him death threats over it.
Oh, God.
Over a cheese wall.
I solved my problem. I left Twitter today. I left for an hour. I deleted the tweet. I was like, all right, I'm out of here. This is full on insanity, retardism, from these people on Twitter who are flipping out on me. Like, you know there's a problem when people are screaming at me about stuff. Like, it's like, dude, you are attacking a guy who, like, I'm not racist, love everybody, made a joke about, can I throw out my Dukes of Hazzard lunchbox and T-shirts because that has the flag on it. You are literally spending time on me, like an insane obsessed person. By the way, the guy, I looked at his fucking job. He works at a dive bar. He looks like he doesn't have a girlfriend based on his tweets. He barely has any followers, and he was from Rhode Island. And I'm like, so you live in a shithole. You fucking don't have a girlfriend. You have a shitty dive bar job somewhere, which is no problem. But it's like, I know what's going on with you. I get it. Like, you are, like, that guy is 2 seconds away from being the Joker in the movie or whatever. But, like, the Joker in the movie is probably smarter and has more shit going on for him than this guy. This guy is nobody. So all he has now is a power to virtue signal. That's what it is. These people have this power. Another guy yelled at me because I said I'm from Boston. I was like, well, I'm from Boston. You know, I don't even know what that flag means, but I do know that, like, I watch Dukes of Hazzard. Should I throw out all my toys? You know, that type of thing. And some guy was like, I'm from Lowell, Massachusetts. Yeah, you should, you idiot. Blah, 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 blah. Well, Lowell's a fucking shithole. And what I've noticed is all of these areas where these people are commenting are in places where people like this think are all shitholes. They're all, and listen, I'm not left or right or whatever you want to say, but they are all Democratic shitholes. You know, when I was 20-something, I used to remember thinking the people that are assholes. Tommy, you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
You gotta go to the bathroom or something?
I wanted to grab something real quickly.
Okay. Any minute we're gonna hear. But no,
shit happens.
When I was 20, I used to think these, like, Republican guys were assholes. You know, whenever you saw them, I'd be like, oh, there's one of those right-wing rich assholes. You know, I used to think that all the time. But now I also think, like, wow, look at the left-wing areas, man. I can tell because a lot of the stuff they say I agree with. Like, I want to help people and I want people to get care and more health insurance, and we do need to help people. But a lot of these people are from areas where basically what happened is they were taken advantage of. That's why they're in such disarray, because they were vulnerable and they thought the politician was coming in to help them with Medicare or whatever you want to call it, medical, and help them with stuff and tax breaks or all these sort of things, or not tax breaks, but increased taxes to pay for these things. And what happened is they were played. So they had good feelings, good vibes in their head about what to do. They thought they were coming from a good place, and these people took advantage of them. And
thought they were able to make a difference. Turn
their state or turn their town, city, state, or wherever they are into shitholes. And it was because they were able to do it because they preyed on the goodwill of the people with their own goodwill by virtue signaling, saying, like, we are going to care about people. We are going to make sure people get the care they needed. We don't care about war and all these things. We need this. And when you hear that, you're like, yes, I absolutely agree with this. And I used to say that, too, all the time. Like, yes, I absolutely agree with it. And I still do if I hear that. But then if you investigate the person a little bit in the background, you go, wait a minute. This guy's saying all this, but he's really a scumbag. And what they do is they get into those areas and they ruin them. And that's what's going on. So you have people on the Democratic and the Republican side who are both able to use everybody. The people on the right use the patriotism and all the paranoia of the old school people to, get them elected. The people on the left use the vulnerability and good virtue in some cases of those people to get elected. And really, it's just a bunch of people taking advantage of people. It's fucking. Yeah, I hate this fucking place. Make me fucking president, God. Justin Bailey just sent me something. Hold on, let me see.
But you're right, though. I mean, I did the same where from last Wednesday until this Monday, I wasn't on Twitter. Like, after out of nowhere, I just didn't go on the app. I didn't post anything. I didn't reply. I feel bad because I try and keep up with as many people as possible, but I just mentally was like, yeah, you know what? Something had happened, and I was like, I'm just done right now. I don't feel like dealing with it, and I just kind of checked out. So every now and again, you need to. Yeah. I'm laughing too at a lot of the responses with people saying, like, I looked originally when we spoke about the Joker movie, and everyone was like, oh, that looks terrible. It's going to be a horrible idea. Heath Ledger's the only one that can pull it off. And then they get this trailer out now, and everyone's like, I'm so excited for this. I can't wait. You know, Todd Phillips is a genius. And, you know,
it's just a shame that they won't really go anywhere with this storyline.
You don't know yet. I bet you if it's a huge success, you know, when they were shooting The Hangover, you end up getting 3 movies out of it. Not that that's a great comparison, but
here's the thing: you have canon that is DC, and then you have this other project that's not canon, and so some people will be like, "Okay, what do I watch?" Like, okay, you just watch the better product, you know. You know, it's a toss up, but you know, because really DC right now with canon really doesn't have a good Joker, like, you know.
No, they're lacking overall. I mean, that's the thing too. Every time I liked Ben Affleck's interpretation of Batman. I appreciated what we got out of Batman versus Superman.
Did he just step down? Did they say that Ben Affleck?
He's been done. Then he was back in. Then he was done again. And Henry Cavill, I don't think, is reprising any roles. And it's a mess. Every time you hear one thing, they say 2 others. So I really don't know what to make of it anymore. But
is Jared Leto coming back, or are they bringing him back?
No, he was asked to do so, but then I guess they scrapped that as well.
But apparently they released the trailer for part 2, and like there was some shots of the Joker, and like it looked like him, but I don't know if they're using.
Yeah, well, now whatever they had planned for Suicide Squad sequel, they got rid of it entirely. I don't know if he's going to be in Birds of Prey at all. I don't believe so, but I mean, as last I heard, he was, you know, not having anything else going forward. So
really, I kind of thought that I kind of was like warming up to the tattooed Joker, but like honestly, I don't think the Joker needs tattoos to be intimidating.
No, he wasn't. I didn't mind something like the damaged one on the forehead was a bit egregious, but
yeah,
I didn't mind the look of him. It was a bit jarring at first. And Screen Rant today just said Jared Leto's Joker may have a DC universe future despite the new movie. So it said, but on-set photos of Joker in Birds of Prey indicate that DCEU may not be done with him yet. Leto's depiction of the Joker in Suicide Squad was brief because he did do more in that movie. He was originally the villain of that movie. And then they scrapped it and changed it. And there was a whole big mess between issues that they had and time constraints, and there's so much behind the scenes that they screwed up with that movie. But
you think Leto would have sued them, but you know, they probably just paid Leto and said, you know, keep your mouth shut and we'll just pay you, but we're cutting most of your scenes, because he was getting into his character and he was pulling pranks on people.
Yeah, he was. I don't even know if that played a part in it. I mean, maybe, but they did kind of, you know, lambast him a bit at one point, saying that he went over the top of those things. But then again, it worked. I mean, it got people talking. And here it says, direct quote, Suicide Squad 2, to be helmed by James Gunn, will feature a new assortment of characters as well as a new Deadshot, like we said before, Will Smith's done. And we haven't seen much in terms of development regarding the multiple Joker-led projects Leto was supposed to be heading, including a solo movie and one with Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. Because they were supposed to go ahead and have one with him and Margot Robbie together, and then he was supposed to have his solo Joker movie, and then Suicide Squad 2, where he was going to be the main protagonist and anti-villain. Like, it was weird, but now they say that this Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix is non-canon. So it doesn't affect the universe at all. It's just a side project.
You know, I'm skeptical about it. I think, in my opinion, it should be maybe canon, but like, it would be nice to like have a decent storyline about how the Joker became the Joker. It would be nice if they had made it canon, but you know, maybe because it's not canon, they can make it more dark and cynical. And because DC seems like they are dark, like
yeah, they're darker than Marvel.
Like
that's their intended goal, anyhow. But no, I get what you're saying, and it says here that. Because they had that Birds of Prey teaser that came out a few weeks back, and he wasn't listed in the credits. Jared Leto wasn't, and he wasn't shown at all. But now there's set photos that looks like Jared Leto's iteration of the Joker, flinging clothes out of a window for Harley Quinn to catch. So that standard rom-com breakup scene moment has people thinking and raising their eyebrows, saying that, oh, it looks like Leto's role will be in the movie after all. So,
because
and then he teased
Jokers
the fans with a Snapchat of a clown emoji. So I guess he's like going along with the speculation.
It's definitely an interesting thing because the Joker's one of those characters that is very foul, and he is very dark and cynical, and he loves Harley to death, but he beats the living crap out of her. That's something you damn don't do.
Old school Tommy there. I do want to see Shazam. People are saying that that's
really
Joe? Entertaining and worth watching. So Joe had to step away for a minute.
Oh, okay. I was like, Joe's awfully quiet for being Joe.
Yeah, he's never that quiet. Yeah, but Shazam looks good. I'm interested to see that. He's had enough with your vegetable madness. Do you have any interest in seeing Shazam, Tommy?
It looks interesting. I just has it already been released in theaters?
This weekend actually it comes out. So
this weekend, if I can get the money, I may go see it. Or wait for I normally sometimes wait for movies to come on DVD, but if the hype is that good from people and they say the movie's really good, I'm like okay, I'll put the $10 in and go see it in the theaters.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Being broke doesn't help, but I still got to see Captain Marvel before Avengers release. I was lucky enough that someone sent me some tickets for Avengers, so we'll go and check that out.
Man, yeah. You're looking good, Tommy. You're looking damn good. You're looking damn good, son. I'd fuck that. I'd fuck that. I'd fuck that. Anybody who's not watching the video version of this is like, what the fuck was that about?
What's going on?
But yeah. Although mostly on the video, it's just been this picture moving around. But for the first time, I put Tommy up on video because I felt like it. So I guess we kind of talked about almost everything. On Morning Madness, I talked about this. I wanted to get your opinion on this. I tweeted it out. You may have seen it already. Tommy, if you haven't seen this, go to my Twitter. I tweeted it earlier, a couple tweets down. Have you seen this fucking... I mean, we all knew this was coming, but we didn't know exactly how it was going to work. Have you seen the Amazon blimp deploying the drones?
I thought that was CGI, but
holy shit!
If that's not a concept thing, that's scary as hell.
Wait, no, is this a concept thing?
I don't know. It looked like CGI to me, but
that looks real.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
you never
real.
know. If that's legit, that is frightening. I mean, that has disaster written all over it.
Honestly, I'm a weird person. A lot of the conservative right-wing people out there are gonna call me what do you call it? It's like when people want all this weird future stuff, they're kind of against that. Like, I don't know what to call it exactly. Maybe this is fake. I don't know, but that looks real to me. But I like progression. I like sci-fi. I like going into the future with these cool things. So part of me, I talked about this on Morning Madness, but part of me says, like, this is going to be awesome. Like, this is awesome. This is cool. It's going to be good. But there is that other part of me that's like, damn, that's creepy.
Yeah, so it is cool in the advancement of technology, but it makes me worry drastically. I don't know. I'm cynical in nature, and it just feels like that has disaster written all over it.
But this is like what people said about people said this about like cars and highways.
Oh, I know. It's not unheard of in the advancement.
But
of
just
technology.
watching those drones fly out is
people with cell phones. They said, "Oh, that's going to be a bomb in your pocket," and like you said, with the invention of the automobile, oh, that's just going to lead to endless deaths and. It's happened time and time again as technology advances. There are naysayers, but with this especially, I feel like there's so many people that
are these drones delivering packages to people.
Yeah, they drop off packages to a designated Amazon delivery spot at your home. So you have to put out this like almost like a mat like a yoga mat kind of idea, Tommy, that lays in your yard, and that way the drone can target where to land, and it drops off your package and takes off.
Well, that's going to point out for some thieves to be like, okay, there's the blimp. Okay, let's follow the blimp.
They do that now. But
they do that now.
UPS trucks and things like that. So that's not a...
I worked in shoes. I sold, I was a customer service rep for the shoe company. So I was one of the top customer service people. So we worked with UPS all the time because every single day hundreds of people would have their packages stolen by people who followed the trucks. So it really isn't any different. And honestly, quite honestly, you could get to the point where you can put a drop box out there too, or a drop box in your house even, that opens up mechanically when the drones fly by. There'll be all kinds of things that go on that should be able to go on and that could be really cool. So I like this. I am a little worried though, because you have to be a little worried. You can't just be like, hell yeah, technology's gonna be great. You have to understand. Dystopian, no? That's what it is, like the dystopian or like the weird. Like, I don't know, like I get what people are saying about that. Like somebody.
It is CGI, so it's not real.
Oh, it isn't real. Wow.
Yeah, the artist wrote on Twitter that the Lockheed Martin P-791, an experimental hybrid airship, served as the inspiration for her design of the Amazon blimp. And then the artist shared, I believe she was Chinese or maybe even Japanese.
When will this happen, though? I thought they were working on these things.
They are working on something, but it is a digital creation right now. So it's still in the planned phase.
That's stupid. I mean,
but the hype over commercial drones is just largely that. They said right now, Jeff Bezos in a 60-minute interview predicted the drones would become commonplace within the next 5 years. So,
okay. So we'll say about
he said that back in 2013 as well.
Yeah.
But he said it again. And but now the technology has advanced so much. My worry is not only just the dystopian feel to it, but how many jobs would that put out of business? I mean,
I'm not worried.
The United States Postal Service had to add Sundays to their delivery schedule again just for Amazon.
Yeah, so I said this on Morning Madness. I said on my Patreon, I said, I'm not gonna cry over that because they created those jobs in the last 3 years. I've never seen as many white trucks delivering stuff as I've seen. These are the like independently hired working for Amazon people who go to the warehouse, pick up all the packages, and then deliver for Amazon. So they've created those jobs in the last 3 to 5 years.
It's helped, the unemployment rate plummet.
But I also believe that buying these mats or having this service with the blimp or whatever could happen with this delivery method, could also be something where it's like, oh, I want this in 6 hours, or like the blimp.
Oh yeah, they said it would only be for small packages and rapid delivery.
Yes,
it would be for 1 hour delivery, and the blimp would come pre-stocked with the most common ordered items, so like charge and sync cables, headphones, earbuds, batteries, things like that, and it would be a 1 hour delivery essentially. You'd have delivery windows, and it would go and float over like different cities. It's like it'd be over New York right now.
Yeah.
So everyone in New York would have a window to order, and then it would, they would have them in different areas.
Yeah, because how are you gonna? I mean, a lot of these drones, even like sometimes I order soda cans, like a thing of 24 pack of soda. It's like you can't carry that. Drone can't carry that.
Yeah, it would have to be, lightweight and.
You seriously used Amazon to order soda, Joe?
I had the same thought, Tommy.
Amazon Pantry.
Joe, I seriously get up and I walk down the grocery store and I buy a soda. I'm not trying to demean you, but I'm like,
well, you can't demean me because you're a retard who doesn't know what green beans and peas are. So you can't demean me.
And Joe,
strike him down, Tommy. ...
Fuck you.
Well, ooh. Tommy, I just want to say, like, I don't know what are you gonna demean me about? I order stuff in bulk by Amazon, save money. What's there to demean?
Okay, I just didn't want you to think I was demeaning you because I was
but there is nothing
that you use Amazon.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Be viewed as lazy and whatnot, but think of it from not to defend.
No,
you,
because
my neighbors do that too because they don't have time.
Well,
to
let
go
me
to the
explain
store
though.
Let
me explain to you. I have 3 kids and me and Leah. And I hate shopping malls and stuff like that. So when I go shopping with one shopping cart, the shopping cart fills up pretty quickly for 5 people. So, in order to stock soda, it's too much weight and all this other stuff. So I go on Amazon where I get a good price if you order more than 5 things. So I order like packages of soda, packages of water, bottled water, and some things like that, because it's so heavy that I say fuck it, and it delivers it shows up in a box, of course, because they just bring it. So like it makes sense to order all that stuff, because if you were to put even 3 or 4 of those 12 packs of Pepsi cans in the cart, you're already fucked. And when I go shopping, we buy 4 gallons of milk, because the kids drink milk like crazy. Me and Leah drink milk, cereal, and things you make. So by the end of a day, you're pretty much out of a bottle of milk at the end of a day. So I buy about 4 of them, and it lasts about a week. So that is why Amazon is great for pantry. I do know that there are some people that only order their food off Amazon, but I'll tell you about that, man. You do that, you end up with a lot of fucking boxes to throw away. It sucks to throw the boxes away. But that is my point. So there you go.
Yeah,
now
not
you
just the boxes, but you end up where you have either too much of something or not enough as well. It takes a lot of like min-maxing to make that work.
But
a lot of pre-planning.
But yeah, it is weird. But it's not, dude. I feel like people that aren't ordering food and stuff off Amazon are behind the ball, because it's so easy. It's so great. Like, it's just, oh god, I hate going shopping. I hate it. But you know what I do love is Stop and Shop. Next to me, there's a shopping place. I don't go to it, because even though it's right up the street, because it doesn't. You have to go into you have to stand in line and wait for someone to check your groceries. But there's a Stop and Shop that's actually closer to me than the old Stop and Shop was where I used to live. So even driving to that is closer. So I go to that one. It's brand new, and you just scan everything while you're shopping, and then when you're done, you scan and you pay and you walk out. You don't have to do anything.
You literally just go to the register and put down the scan piece, and then you get to check out.
Yep.
Bag it as you go through, and a lot of that's on the honor system too. I mean,
well, yeah, I mean, you know what's stupid is
the same thing with the self checkout. I know people that go ahead, they ring stuff out, and it's like one for me, one for you, kind of idea.
Well, they always give me shit. Like one time I spent I got $300 worth of groceries, right? Because I go I go shopping like once every whatever. So I buy when I go shopping. A lot of people go shopping, they spend $80 every time they go or something. I wait weeks and then drop it just buy a shitload because I don't want to come back. So when I'm at the, they've come up to me and been like, oh, we got to check your cart and stuff like that. I'm like, do you really think that I just shoplifted a few things after dropping $300 and filled this cart up?
As JB would say, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Why would he say that?
Well, the story he told about the girl that he said he forgot his card, and he was trying to put his card through the machine.
Yeah,
and he didn't have his card there, so he was giving her a number, and the old lady's like, "You can't do that! You can't do that!"
Oh yeah,
yeah. You couldn't enter your number. You have to have your card with you, and she was giving him it.
Hey, you know what? You know what you can't do either? Punch someone like you in the face. What's this?
And that's when you look over and you see the Vagisil in her cart, and you yell, "At least I don't have an itchy vagina."
Oh my god!
Is that your obsession to punch me in the face?
That was Mike Hanley, a great comedian. I used to die.
What
he
is
was
punching you?
About that.
What the hell does punching you in the face have to do with punching that lady in the face?
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about me punching me in the.
You think everything's about you, don't you?
No, I just get confused sometimes. I'm sorry.
You really are a scumbag.
I'm not a scumbag. You could be a scumbag sometimes.
But you are one all the time.
No, I'm not a scumbag. I'm not a scumbag.
I'm joking, Tommy. I'm kidding. You're not a scumbag. You really aren't. Seriously, I'm joking. All right, listen, guys. I got to wrap it up. Is there anything else on your mind? Tommy, I mean, we heard... But do you like the trailer, or going back to the Joker thing? Do you like it?
I think it is epic. I do think that it has some grittiness to it. I think that...
Goodiness? Did you say... Wait a minute.
I cannot wait.
Did you just say goodiness?
Grittiness.
Oh, okay.
I heard goodiness, too.
I heard goodiness. Okay, all right. Grittiness.
It has grittiness to it. I cannot wait for October the 4th. I'm definitely cannot wait for that to see, this epic film, and I'm definitely excited to see it. Yes.
Get gritty in this city. It's so shitty. In Philly,
own shitty.
You know they eat their own shit in Philly, Tommy? They eat their own shit in Philly. It's a real thing. Just not everybody, but there's a couple out there. A couple special ones out there.
There's different people with different kind of fetishes.
Yeah, when things are going really well, sometimes you got to eat the poop. Hashtag eat the poop, Tommy.
They eat the poo-poo.
So tell me about this.
They screw the poo-poo.
You want the poo-poo? Before we end, one more thing. You brought up UFOs, which we know.
Oh, yeah.
We know they're real because the Air Force released the footage of them chasing UFOs and all the airliners and everything.
Those.
Unlike God, we'd have never seen him, but we have seen UFOs. So they could be God. What happened with this UFO?
So it's not so much a UFO itself, but the fact that former manager of the Department of Defense Aerospace Threat Program, he oversaw a team that includes 25-year veterans of the CIA's Directorate of Operations, a Lockheed Martin program director for Advanced Systems of Skunk Works, and a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence. All these people, they went ahead and basically said outright that UFOs are real. So these are people that usually remain in the shadows and, don't admit to things. These are high-level officials, scientists, all with, deep black box experience that, are pretty silent.
But my problem with him is, what does he mean by that? Because, again, we know UFOs are real. Like, that is a 100% fact. There's no denying. We know UFOs are real because it's an unidentified flying object, and we have seen them fly faster than our planes, beyond anything we can imagine, cutting left and right and doing these right angles that are impossible for any spacecraft that we know of or aircraft that we know of. We don't know what they are, though, but there are UFOs.
Said, according to their statement, its team members who have been operating under the shadows of top secrecy for decades admit that there is sufficient credible evidence and proof of exotic technologies that exist in our control that will revolutionize the human experience going forward.
Wow.
So we actually have access to some of this technology as well, he's saying.
Where's Dave Rose right now?
All right. So this could represent a beginning of a trend towards a new openness on the part of the U.S. government. People know more than any of us, and they will be releasing important data on the UAP in the future. So, there's a lot here, but...
What? Wait a minute. So, we've always speculated on this, but are you telling me that, what do you mean by we'll be releasing in the future? Is he saying that...
Well, today is the official launch of To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science, and that's an innovative public benefit corporation which will do advanced research into the unexplained phenomena and develop related technology. So they're researching and developing technology for, aliens, science, aerospace, entertainment. And believe it or not, the company president and CEO is Tom DeLonge, and he said, we believe there are discoveries within our reach that will revolutionize the human experience. And they've been hiring and procuring these top-level scientists and things of that nature. And they said that, they have different people that have joined them that have all this information, and they're hoping to make things public knowledge now.
Wow. If that's true, and this isn't some kind of publicity stunt for the company, which I'm still skeptical of, that will be awesome.
For the meeting that was present, Luis Izondo, if I'm saying that correct.
I need you to repeat this.
He ran an important program at the Department of Defense. He went on. He was served as a director for the National Program Special Management Staff, and it goes on and on. Huge title.
Can you repeat some of this for Dave Rose, who I just...
Hold on. Are we live?
We're recording, yeah.
No.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me hold on one second.
Because I didn't understand your message. Blah, blah, blah.
Let me
human experience, and they actually have people that are working with the TTSAS Academy now that are basically... they used to be under the shadows and very top secret for decades, but now they're coming forward to admit very various facts about the existence of not just UFOs, but that they also have access to technologies that you thought before were impossible and didn't exist, that they believe will revolutionize the human experience going forward.
So allegedly they're taking the knowledge they know that they were supposed to keep under wraps, and they're going to apply it to a private company to try to make money or whatever else. And they're saying UFOs are real, and they know all these other things. Again, UFOs are real. We already know that. That's not something crazy. But
it's an actual official designation. What they are is why it's called unidentified.
But Dave, I guess where I'm coming from on all this is like all these minds and people are coming together to create this company, and they're going to revolutionize the world with stuff. What the fuck was that? Tommy, what was that?
Nothing.
But what was that?
It was some woman doing face swap with her son, and she's like laughing her ass off.
Man, you are a infant. So going back to this, so
I don't know how I could go back to that after that.
So do you believe? I believe Tommy's a science
First of all,
experiment.
before you go on, what didn't you mention this individual a while back about this guy being like a musician, but he's also been pushing this stuff, and like he's been like I think I remember you mentioning this individual.
Yeah, Tom DeLonge, most notably known for Blink-182. You know, being the singer in the band.
I think Joe, you asked me about this, and I commented. First of all,
publicity stunt for the company.
First of all, there's been other people that have even as something as innocuous as a electric car back in the 60s and 70s,
right? Get
suicided, and the patents basically get bought up and hidden away,
right? Fact.
There's been exotic technology information available for a long time, but when you looked at when someone legitimately tries to put it out, they're suicided. It's as simple as that, or they get destroyed. Either way, the patents end up going to those whose interest it is that they don't come out. Now, first of all, when it comes to anybody of a celebrity status, whatever, regardless of what they do, and they try to attach themselves to a movement that is supposed to be about truth, or at least about investigation on the UFO phenomenon, for example, it always is suspect. Now, when it comes to, like, from somebody who is in a band that has somewhat of influence, then it becomes even more suspect because, again, Project Mockingbird definitively proves that all these institutions were influenced and infiltrated by individuals who were attempting to control certain narratives.
I'm usually pretty skeptical
lastly,
too, Dave.
The last thing I will say is, again, any company that comes out and says, oh, we've got this access to this information, we're going to share it and we're going to, get it out there, to me, in my opinion, is morally wise or morality wise is totally the opposite of what they're claiming it to be. Because again, anybody that actually values knowledge, freedom, liberty, and this technology getting out there, you can find people that have actually published instructions on how to create free energy devices. They've made it free available on the internet because they value that knowledge. For any company to say, look, we're going to, bring this technology to you, but, since we're a company, we're going to make money on it, and we're going to be the gatekeepers to that technology, the ones that supposedly we're fighting against the other gatekeepers, like the military industrial complex. Totally suspect. Totally suspect. And again, I never believed this guy in the first place that he was legitimate. When Joe told me about it initially, and I researched the guy, I was like, no, this is clearly
to back up everything you're saying, Dave. The more you look into it, Tom DeLonge right now, the company itself has a $37.4 million deficit. So a filing with the SEC back in October shows that the company raises doubts about the company's ability to continue because they have such a financial deficit at this point. And originally, DeLonge said that his goal was not to make money with this, but was to study and amass these minds to go ahead and further the study into unidentified aerial phenomena and release as much information as possible. Problem is now is that that when the launch of the Stars Academy happened and all these things. Since then, we haven't heard much, but now we hear little rumblings that, they have this technology, they have access to these things. And going forward, though, the most recent thing that I see is that the company managed to rack up a $37 million deficit, much of which was accumulated late in 2017. And according to the SEC filing, they only had $129,000 in cash, but plans to continue operations for at least another year by selling more stock.
Yeah.
Again, if you take a look at an organization like MUFON, Mutual UFO Network, that has been around for quite a long time, decades. I remember hearing about them back in the 90s. And they basically are a volunteer-run organization. Now, there's certain things to be skeptical about, and organizations like that, especially that are consisted through volunteers, can get infiltrated. But they're able to operate on a zero budget, and this organization that claims to have all these great minds gets into a $37 million debt.
Yeah, I mean,
it's totally suspect. It's a money pit for
it is.
For naive people, especially. And again, who is this talking head? He's a singer
from a band.
Okay,
yeah.
and there are some singers that are quite intelligent that have like actual master's degrees and stuff like that. But this guy's from Blink 182.
Yeah,
and, I mean, this all coincides with the NUFORC reporting 24 different cases of flying objects throughout the state of Texas. And some with video footage. And it says in the in the minutes leading up to 2019, many people witnessed fiery orange lights flying soundlessly at low altitude over San Antonio, and that was just the beginning of numerous reports of UFOs spotted in Texas. 3 months into the year, there have been 24 total reports, substantiated anyways, with multiple people reporting at different elevations and locations. So
what does that have to do with his organization, though? Like,
no, what I'm
saying
saying
that was posited to me was about this situation, and this individual, especially running a company that is claiming that they have all these great minds and that they're going to release this technology and stuff. And regardless of UFO sightings and stuff, which again, you don't need that organization to do it. Everybody does it. Like, it's, to me, bottom line is this organization is suspect, especially when it comes to money. The money.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be around much longer. It was just interesting to see so many
at
political figures and minds amassed in one.
But are they like
sector.
I don't?
Well, what about the Disclosure Project?
Yeah, it's very similar.
I mean, that's volunteers. That's all individuals that are part of the military-industrial complex that are coming out to try to speak out against, the phenomenon of UFOs.
Yeah, and the reason I bring up Texas is because I just find it amusing that a nonprofit website has essentially produced more, I don't want to say proof, but evidence, maybe,
documentation.
Yeah, that's a better way of saying it. Absolutely, and than this multi-million-dollar corporation has. So even though they have all of these great scientists and former Department of Defense, members and whatnot, they're now in this huge financial debt. So like you said, it is good to be, overly scrupulous with these things.
It just sounds like they're riding the coattails of truth. Like they're riding the coattails of truth.
Perfectly said.
And hey, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm looking here on Instagram, and Jim Ross is joining AEW, I think.
Yeah, I made a video about that about a month ago, Tommy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You got to pay attention, man.
Thanks for interrupting the flow there.
Well, that's Tommy, man. But no, listen, guys. I do want to wrap it up. This is sort of the end, and I just wanted to call Dave because this really, I thought, was something that he should hear or comment on, to be aware of.
Yeah, because he makes great sense with, like you had started to say, Joe, with, scrutinizing the I don't want to say culpability, but believability of the company.
Yeah, it all started with that first comment. That first, like, UFOs are real. Well, no shit, Sherlock. I mean,
yeah, we've known
literally the U.S. government is showing us the videos and saying, "Look, UFOs. We don't know what this is." Like, they are saying that.
I just find it fascinating when you see this many minds
shiny.
put together, and I'm always for the possibility of seeing these type of technology, because they have.
Yeah, well, in 20 years ago, when I was a kid, or even 20 years ago, when people would be like, UFOs are real, like, they didn't really 100% know that, but they could be real.
But the problem is that people keep using the wrong. People don't understand the power of words.
Yeah,
UFO is a term that is totally valid and used by official organizations.
It could be a frisbee.
Flying object.
Could be a frisbee.
It mean a flying saucer with little green men in it?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
That's what they assume.
But it's been equated with that because any skepticism of what the official word is basically dealt with shaming and ridicule rather than addressing the actual purpose and point of the observation.
Yeah, it doesn't mean aliens are real. It means unidentified flying objects are real.
It could be a drone. It could be
a frisbee,
a military vehicle.
You don't know what it is. That's the point. Like, and I agree, and that's the thing. Like, that's what people don't get. They think UFO means green men alien. No,
but when you start to take a look at why that occurred, you realize that there has been a concerted effort since the very beginning to sort of mask this information up. Because when you have people saying, oh, I saw something in the sky, oh, you believe in little green aliens, and you're saying, I never said that, it goes to show that people have been indoctrinated into automatically assuming that when you say a UFO, you mean aliens, and that has nothing to do with it. But that's how they poison the well.
But yet some of those
try to discredit you as an individual that actually is just observing a phenomenon that you don't understand.
I've had fights with people like this, and some of them, dude, are religious people, and I'm like, well, you've never seen God, but you're getting mad at me for a UFO? You don't know what a UFO is. Like like I've been in fights with people, and that's how indoctrinated they are. They blindly believe they're whatever, but then they blindly believe you think aliens are real. It's like, that's not what I'm saying, like you said. But here's the other thing.
But I found that with atheist people too.
No, atheists too. Oh, atheists are really bad nowadays. Nowadays, it's like, oh, you don't know, you haven't seen this, you're an idiot. Like, there's some of the okay, this gets into a whole nother discussion. It's not about religion or atheism. It's just people.
It's about being open-minded.
Yes, open-minded. People need to believe in something so much that they indoctrinate themselves into this shit. Like,
but more importantly, if we take a look 100 years ago and we look at phenomena in the weather that we didn't understand, some people would claim, a sundog where, there's like a ring around the sun under certain atmospheric interference, that was some sort of sign from God, or that the gods were doing that, or some spirits or something. And until later on did we eventually figure it out.
I mean, there's a great article at geek.com that they put out 2 days ago that says, why haven't we found aliens yet? And it's a very interesting read that you might want to...
Because they don't want us to find them, and also our sun is a ticking time bomb also.
Well, I mean, they also go into the fact of it. They're not just focusing on NASA and other agencies keeping us from knowing the truth. They also look into the astute ability of our electronics and how much reach do we really have. They speak of NASA's transiting exoplanet survey satellite, and this is the first among many projects that'll be searching for worlds within 300 light years of our own. They also bring up the Kepler space telescope that's now defunct. That itself found hundreds of extrasolar worlds, but it wasn't able to observe them with the precision needed to actually, see them. Venus was too thick to get through, and
nor do we have the tools necessary to send out signals that will arrive there in a timely manner that will allow for proper communication. As signals get further away from Earth, they get weaker. It's
they
insane
degrade
to think that we can easily snap our fingers and be able to communicate with aliens at a far distant level when we're really like little ants trying to communicate with a human. It's just not possible over those distances. But that doesn't dispute that maybe we are being visited by some sort of extraterrestrial life forms. But to think that humans are so capable to send a signal across space and communicate with a life form that has at least equivalent technology is just ludicrous. I mean, the Voyager space probes have only recently left the solar system, and they are almost the fastest objects that humans have ever put into space.
Yeah. That's the thing. All of that is, I agree with, but it's just like, this is gone beyond fucking what the conversation.
Whatever it started as.
Whatever we started as the Joker trailer.
Wow. Well, one thing you can do is, Joe, is you can cut this up and make it into separate podcasts.
I'll probably put it up all as one, but then I'll probably cut.
That's a genius idea, Tommy. I don't think Joe's ever thought of that.
The part where we talk about the Joker, you leave that as its own entity, and like maybe the Dukes of Hazzard shit, like cut that up.
That blazer kind of makes you look like the new Joker, at least the Joaquin Phoenix interpretation of it.
That's what I thought too.
Have you seen the latest trailer, Tommy?
Yes, I have.
I knew you
at
did.
First, I kind of said he looks like a psychotic bozo.
Well, but what did he say at the end? He's like, at first he thought his life was a tragedy, but then he realized it was a comedy.
It's a comedy. That was great, dude. Hey,
please don't ever say that, Tommy, because I will have to call the cops on you.
Why?
Because then the next step for you would be for you to paint your face and then go shooting people in the public, and I can't allow that.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go shooting people.
Well, I don't want to have to call the cops on you, Tommy. I think
I'm not that kind of person.
We don't know that.
You're not angry, Tommy?
We don't know what type of person.
Side?
No, he's not, but maybe Chester is.
Yeah, maybe.
Ooh,
maybe you put that Chester mask on, you start going out and butchering people.
I think maybe Chester only prefers bladed implements. Is that correct, Tommy? Do you know him well enough to be able to speak on his behalf?
Not really. He speaks whenever he wants to speak.
I thought he liked blunt objects.
And that's the reason why I'd call the cops on you.
Hey, I am live on YouTube now with Anything Goes, episode number 20. I'll probably be exiting some of these guys, but just for a few, I want maybe them to stick around for a few. We just did a over 1 hour awesome podcast that really we were just talking about shit. It was really good. It's going to go up on the Corrupted YouTube channel, and portions of it will be edited as well for individual videos, and the audio will go up on Patreon, and also on my Patreon I just did Morning Madness. But for a little while,
been a hot mess, been all over the place.
We were all over the place. But so Dave, I know that the people listening didn't get to hear all of our opinions on the Joker trailer because that's going to come out in the video that I upload later. But I do have to ask you, what did you think about the trailer? I assume you liked it.
It was interesting. It's not... See, the problem is also when you... Like, if you really know the comics well and you know the stories of the Joker's origin, because there are multiple and they sort of recently try to capitalize that and basically try to run with it, which I kind of like in a sense that there's a lot of potential for it. I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't read it. There are some good things going on in actual DC comic books these days, so you might want to check it out. But it's interesting. There's some things that are there. I'm a big canon guy. That's the reason why I'm saying this. But when it doesn't accurately match the comic book, I get somewhat disappointed, only in the sense that it's like, okay, they didn't go to that angle.
Well,
but
they
again,
said
I haven't seen
this
it.
is non-canon as well. This is fully non-canon.
Well, the thing is also Elseworlds stories, which are alternate stories that DC has done for a long time. They're also sort of like the what if that Marvel does.
Yeah, the
which
side
I don't think they've done that in a while. But like again, these alternate, like the good thing about DC is these Elseworlds stories. They're actually standalone universes, so they can go back to them and continue stories and stuff. So with these alternate, okay, even if it's alternate for the cinematic audience, the comic book readers, the ones who are primarily going to feed that puppy in the theaters, are aware of this sort of thing. So, yeah, some things don't match. Haven't seen the movie yet. It looks interesting. It looks dark. I'm kind of interested to see what what's going to evolve and like what specifically like story-wise they're going to try to tell with this tale. And you see him in the trailer actually dyeing his hair green, right? But most of the canon for the Joker is basically that the Joker that faces Batman suffered, chemical wounds when he was trying to run a heist as the Red Hood, and he fell in the vat of acid and he got scarred. And that's how he got to those colors. So I'm interested to see how they discuss why he's choosing to dress himself up in that way with those colors, and what leads him eventually to be the Joker. And maybe we'll see some sort of Batman interaction in this movie. So
did you already see Gotham is releasing their own version of not like they're not calling him the Joker, they're calling him Mr. J.
Yeah, I remember when Gotham first aired, and I was never
Gotham's
a fan
had it
of
for a while.
Gotham to me was again an insult to the canon trying to rewrite things and make things chic and cool. That's why I never liked Smallville. Because again, it was like, let's just try to make things cool for like a new audience. It's like, no, you've got like 50, 60 years worth of stories that you could easily tell and do them well, that people will still relate to, that you don't need to like pander to audiences and stuff.
Yeah, I don't necessarily love it either. I don't mind those shows. I don't watch them, so it doesn't bother me. But I get what you're saying. I have one last.
I like it when they have a vision and they go with it, and they don't always have to respond to audience win. You know.
Sorry to interrupt, Jake, but like what gives me sort of joy is knowing that even shows that I'm not really fans of when it comes to like DC properties, like Green Arrow, Supergirl, Flash, and stuff, have actually really gone the limit when it comes to doing things right comic-wise, where you've got those massive crossovers where like you've got like these time traveling alternate universe tales, and like to me that's like really bringing the audience, especially casuals, a good fill of comic book history and at least that potential to tell a good story. And I love those crossovers because I think they do a really good job of them, with the DC TV universe. When it comes to the Marvel universe, because everything has been sort of stuck on Netflix and stuff, you don't really get to see too many crossovers unless it's what was the one on Netflix? The
I forget the name of it now, where it had Jessica Jones and
exactly
Punisher, Daredevil. I forget the name of it. But
listen, I gotta move on because I'm gonna do my anything. I'm doing my anything goes show right now. I'm gonna hang up on everybody and guys in the chat. I'm about to talk to you guys, and I encourage you guys. We all just did an hour podcast to be subscribed to my corrupted YouTube channel and Patreon. But Dave, before I let you guys go, and Tommy NC 2010's here, Jake was here, dude, we had such a good thing today. We could go on for hours, and I want to. And hopefully we can do this more often, a little bit earlier, and do it longer. But one last question about TV and stuff. I want to bring this up to Dave, especially, but all of you really. This is really a unique situation that I've never seen before. And maybe you guys aren't even as big of fans as I am, but what do you think? I don't know, Dave, are you aware of what Star Trek has to do with their canon and how they basically have to make everything a little bit different because of the licensing agreement between like Viacom or whatever and CBS and
I'm aware
Paramount.
that the movie franchise and the TV franchise must be different, but it is more on the onus is more on the movie franchise to make it different. The TV one basically has the authority to sort of dictate.
But they
canon terms.
They put the new TV Discovery under the canon almost of the movie. So
not officially though.
But Discovery, in order to get the toy licensing, has to follow the same rules as the movie. Like it has to be 30% or 20% different.
Well, that's the arrangement that they made, but bottom line is NBC gets to dictate canon. They're the
CBS.
ones that actually get to dictate what is reality, and I do not consider anything of Discovery canon, reality. It's fucking utter garbage. I watched first episode of season 2, pure garbage. I'm not gonna fucking bother ever again with that piece of shit show.
Dude, the other day, the episode that killed the show for me was yesterday. I watch it anyway, but Spock legit said,
I heard he's a killer now.
Well, I mean, basically, but it's what he said that bothered me. He seems like Spock, maybe, but not quite. And then he says this. His sister, which that's a whole nother thing, his so-called sister says, she punched a guy in the face and like made him bleed and everything. And she's in the room boxing something, and Spock comes in and stands there and is watching her, and she goes, I know I shouldn't have done that, but I lost my whatever. And then Spock goes, I wish I could have been there to see it. And he kind of smiles at her like it's okay. And I was like, what the fuck kind of sick, weird interaction is that? Like, Spock would never have said, yes, I wish I was there to see you punch a guy in the face. Like, when we're first introduced to Spock, I'm sorry, that is not Spock. I don't care what people say. That's not him. He would have said, like, you're irrational. Like, you need to, like, something like that. Like, so it was, God damn it. But here's the thing. The Picard series falls under the Discovery guys as well. Robert Orci or whatever that guy is, they're all in charge of the same thing. So the Picard series has to be like 30% different as well.
But well, here's the thing, though. At least the Picard series is actually a response to the utter failure that is Discovery. And they realized they needed to go back to the working equation, which was TNG, like after post TNG. That's what everyone was waiting for when fucking Voyager came out, when fucking Enterprise came out. People were like, no, we want to see post TNG. So this is addressing that in regards to the failure that is Discovery. But let's hope to God that they recognize their errors, their mistakes, and they know how to proceed with giving people what it is that they want. Because, supposedly Picard is an ambassador in this series. And first of all, I think that Janeway she should have been fucking thrown right in the brig as soon as she got back, not fucking given Admiral over fucking Captain Picard. But the story is that Ambassador Picard is going to be involved in some method while running a ship, probably in a more diplomatic manner. I hope to God they don't infuse their SJW bullshit into this, because it will ruin the one final vestige of value that TNG that Star Trek really has in our minds.
Yeah, no, I think they will, honestly, dude. I mean, they've already got Patrick Stewart saying this will be a very different Picard than what anyone remembers.
Oh God,
he said that multiple times. This will be a Picard that you've never seen, that you may not recognize this Picard. It's been 20 years, And while normally you could say that, and that's like, yeah, of course not. Will have changed a little bit, of course, but you know why he's saying that. He's saying that because it has to be a different Picard, because he can't be the same Picard. There's a donation.
That's right.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Daniel?
That's right, there being a new Joker who will be the new
Johnny.
Batman.
I love to see
I
a
think
big
it'll be John Hamm. Also, what are some movies that you guys love regardless of how bad they are? Keep up the great work, and Jake, can I come out of my cage?
Yes, you can. Daniel Bryan's third nipple, come on out of your cage.
I didn't hear the donation.
I'm sorry, yeah, you can't hear them. He was saying, like, what are the other movies?
I was referring to Picard being a cuck.
Well, of course, Beverly. Well, my thing was he's gay. He'll come out as gay or something, that he realized he's actually bisexual.
Why are they ruining this?
I'm telling you, like, because he'll be like, well, I'm actually pansexual. And that's how they get Patrick Stewart to do it. I think I'll be also, where's the movies that you guys love regardless of how bad they are? I don't know. I like The Rock, and that movie's kind of, it's not bad though, but it's
UHF. I love that movie.
UHF is ridiculous. Tommy loves a whole bunch of bad movies, I bet. Right, Tommy?
I mean, I like different kind of movies. There's different movies that I like that.
Did you like Ray?
Oh my God, dude! Like different vegetables, guys. I am telling you, you will die when you hear what Tommy said earlier. I'm gonna upload it on my other YouTube and Patreon. Right, Tommy?
Mm-hmm.
Tommy, need to go back to school on your vegetables, huh? Need to go back to school and learn what vegetables are what? I love you, Tommy. You killed me, though, dude. You killed me. I can't wait for people to hear. I can
only imagine.
Oh, Dave, I can't wait for people to hear this.
I would like to draw a penis on your forehead, Joe.
You are 5. No, I'm sorry, Tommy, but no. I am going to run. I want to do these things again. I really had fun. I'm so happy. It was really a surprise that I was able to get Jake, Dave, at some point at the end, and then Tommy, all you guys, all day. I like the Joker trailer, though. I'm going to go see it. It certainly looks better than Jared Leto shit. And
Yep.
Tommy, your final thoughts on that real quick?
Epic, amazing explosion of the eyes.
What the fuck? Jesus Christ. That's a clip. Explosion of the eyes is going to be clipped. All right, Dave, Tommy, I'll talk to you guys later, man. Good to talk to you guys today. Thank you.
All right. See ya.
All right, later, boys.
Bye.
All right, now it's just me, you guys. Tonight is out of nowhere at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. But now it's, I ranted on a bunch of shit today. I put up a new episode on Patreon of Morning Madness, which I definitely suggest you guys go check it out. Some of the old school people were gotten to by the evil doers of the world. And We could definitely use some more support on Patreon, but we had our best month ever last month. But to keep it going, we need you guys to sign up on Patreon and check out the content. Give it a look. 30 hours of bonus content a month. I don't think anybody provides as much Patreon content as I do. Nobody ever has. Nobody ever will, I believe. I don't think. Unless they're like a big network and they have like 90 different people working for them. So please check out my Patreon. I put up so much content on there that I don't want you guys to miss it. It's funny. The Corrupted Podcast, me and Leah's podcast, JB and me and Justin Bailey are killing it. We're going to have more new episodes of the Bailey and Cronin Show coming. We're going to have our new live show. Everyone, me and Bailey always have gone live at random times, and especially in the mornings, me and Bailey have always wanted to do one. And so we've been releasing those shows, but we may be going live. We're trying to go live once a week at least. So that show will be released, on Patreon episodes, couple episodes a week. But we're also going to try to go live one time during the week, live in the morning at some point, so we can actually interact with you guys. But then the rest of the shows throughout the week will be recorded on the podcast, of course. I don't know what the fuck this guy just tweeted me, but I wanted to say something to him, and now I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What the fuck is this? Yeah, did Tommy drop the N-word in his recent rap? I don't know. But what's up to the chat? How you guys doing? You guys alive today? Is everybody here? We're not getting the alert. Sometimes YouTube doesn't like to alert people. Also JR goes to AEW, so that's awesome. We pretty much knew that was going to happen. We've been making videos about going to AEW and all that stuff for a while. Somebody said, Joe, JR took your job as commentator. Well, what are you going to do? He's a legend. What am I a guy? Does bingo halls? What's up, everybody? What's up, Omega? But yeah, me and Tommy and Jake, we just did a epic 1.5 hour show that I recorded that you guys are going to be able to hear. If you're patrons, you'll be able to download the audio in a little while. If you're on the Corrupted Podcast YouTube channel, which is going to be renamed soon. I do want to give everybody the heads up. I will be renaming the Corrupted YouTube channel to something else. I don't yet know what the name is, but it's going to happen eventually. So that's just a little heads up for everybody out there. What's up, Steve Callan? How you doing, man? I did not buy Tommy anything yet. I probably should get him something, but I'm not going to buy him fries, though. Enable that stuff for him. God, I don't know about that. I'm looking forward to the Joker movie, yeah. That's why we spend so much time talking about it. Except for we talked about it off-air recording, so that you guys won't hear that until I put it up. We talked about the Joker movie, UFOs, all kinds of crazy shit. It was a good podcast. You're really gonna like it, I think, if you like podcasts. I had Jake DeMarco, me, and Tommy. It's great. And Tommy, man, I'm telling you, there is some gold. Like, you are gonna. Goddamn, is it funny? The stuff he said, dude. Oh my God, I can't wait for people to hear it. It's so funny. And yeah, he's wearing the same clothes. What's up, bro? How you doing, Mike? Good to hear from you, man. I'm looking forward to having to cover WrestleMania, man. I'm going to be live nonstop. Starting from Thursday night and on, man. Thursday night throwdown on Thursday tonight. It's going to be a lot of shit.
Chat party.
Will Tactics.
Joe, ya fuck. Yo, bro. At the park with my boy.
Hell yeah, Will. Have a good day at the park, man. That's awesome. Oh, man. It's a pretty good day out here, too. It's not too bad. So, I think you'll have a good time. Thanks for dropping me $2, man. I appreciate the donation while you're at the park. Matt Moon, what's up in the chat? How you doing? What are your thoughts on Emma? My opinion should be in AEW. Yeah, I believe Emma should be in the AEW. God, what's her real name again? Dashwood? Talina Dashwood? I can't remember now. Tennille Dashwood. There we go. Couldn't quite remember her name for some reason. Right now, I'm just trying to get the audio to render, because the audio's, there's so much audio to render with that last podcast. It's friggin' insane. And trying to get compression on it, dude, because Tommy's snorting during half of it, just making noises like that. We are going to do our WrestleMania and NXT. Well, I don't know if we're going to do NXT, but we're going to do at least our WrestleMania predictions tonight on Out of Nowhere. So that's going to be big. It's going to be a big Out of Nowhere tonight. Juan Huerta. What's up, man? How you doing? It's going to be a big one tonight. 8 hours Mania, get ready for a marathon. Yeah, every year, man, it's a damn marathon. Joe, are you going to live react to Mania? Jake Roberts. Is it really the Jake Roberts I remember? Because one time a hooker died in the hotel room, and I just said, Vince, I don't know what to do. Vince made a call. Next thing you know, they're rolling her up in a carpet, and they're bringing her down to some guy Vinny's house. No, I don't know, Jake. I probably will, yes. I probably will live stream it because it will be fun to interact with everybody, with you guys. Obviously, it's going to be, people will be super chatting probably, so it should be a profitable thing to do. So, it will just be so much fun to be live during WrestleMania. Hopefully it doesn't distract me too much from watching the show and then jumping onto my live review, but I think I'm going to have to pull double duty and do it. I think it's going to have to be done. So, I believe so. Joey Ryan, you can touch his penis for $30. Yeah, that's bizarre. But, hey, any way to make a buck, man, Any way to make $1, man. You can't hate on Mr. Joey Ryan for that. Finally, Jim Ross going to AEW. We knew it was going to happen. There it is. Will he be more in charge of talent, or will he be doing commentary? Will there be a 3-man commentary team? I don't know. Will there be a 2-man commentary? What do you guys want? I don't know. I think Jim Ross complimenting on commentary with a new fresh face commentator along with some kind of color guy would be what I would do to start. But that's just me. By the way, yeah, stick the thumb up my ass if you'd like. Wish I could get felt up for $30. Yeah, me too. Hell yeah. What if the turkeys ate us? I get felt up all the time with the turkeys ate us donation. It's $29. It's pretty close to 30. But I'm just here for you guys. Whatever you want to ask, whatever you want to talk about real quick. I put up Morning Madness on Patreon. That is a good episode. I talked about a lot of stuff, including the new Amazon blimp video and what Amazon's going to be doing, and just a lot of questions, personal shit, and all kinds of things on Patreon that I talked about. So I look forward to you guys hearing that. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Jim Ross AEW stuff, but your Royal Rumble and Fastlane was booming that night. Yeah, you're right, Kevin. Yeah, that's why I really should go live. You bring up a good point with that. I got buried for doing that by some people, but I don't know, people liked it. So I don't know what to say. I didn't do anything wrong. I just streamed. I've streamed live before on the WWE events before, and had a good time. Casey Rose, happy birthday! Happy birthday, Casey Rose. Jake Roberts, yeah, I don't like 3-mans usually either, but I'm not sure. The trade war with China and America from Dave Rose. Man, that's a whole show right there. You poke one, the other pokes back. You poke one, you poke the other one, pokes back. At some point you almost just want to say, we're going to have to sit down and talk and rehash this whole thing out. And that's what I think that's what they would hope it would lead to. It's like, hey, listen, I think we're being treated unfairly, so now I'm doing this. Oh, yeah, you're doing that? Well, now we're doing this. Oh, yeah, well, now we're going to do this. Oh, yeah, well, now we'll do this. And what it leads to is chaos, war, or it leads to basically both parties being like, hey, you know what? Let's sit back down again and rewrite this whole thing, because we've gotten to the point where things are so bad now that you need to sit down and now negotiate all over again. That's my opinion. I don't know if that's going to happen, though. Yeah, I probably will be streaming a watch-along with WrestleMania. Hey, Cade Jackson. Thanks, Cade. Yeah, I know over in Sweden it's probably tough to stay up all night and watch my reviews, too. Because it's like... Oh, what time is it there? When it's like 11 and 12 here, it's daytime there, so that's not bad. So we're all going to ignore the fact that WrestleMania main event is for the women's title. What do you mean? I mean, we know it. They're going to unify the belts. That's pretty cool. CJ Crumb, how many years do you plan to keep watching WWE? I mean, as long as I can. I've been watching since I was 5 in 1988, or 4 in 1988 or so. I'm going to keep on watching. Yeah, the hit piece on Oliver, yeah, it does seem weird. Linda McMahon leaves. So the timeline is this. Linda McMahon leaves Trump's cabinet. And lots of people were like, good, she's leaving because of the Special Olympics stuff. But no. Linda McMahon left Trump's cabinet so she could be involved in the Super PAC stuff, which means Linda McMahon is going to help campaign for Donald Trump for 2020. So Linda McMahon is leaving the cabinet to help with his fundraising and his campaigning of 2020. That was just announced last week. Now, as soon as it's announced, a week later or so, John Oliver randomly has this weird hit piece out on WWE that seems like it's 8 years too late, right? A lot of the stuff he's bringing up is like stuff from that you could bring up years ago. Now, is a lot what he said kind of true? Yeah. But it seemed out of place and it seemed weird. It was like, why is he bringing this up now? This is very strange. It seemed like it was 8 years too late, and I couldn't figure out why. But now we know why. John Oliver, and I'm not saying that this is good or bad or don't watch him or love him. I kind of think he's funny. But John Oliver tends to be very political, and he attacks the right-wing people a lot. He's always spewing some shit about whatever the hell with his agenda. I would never watch I would never watch Fox News because of their agenda. I would never watch CNN because of their agenda. I pretty much can't watch John Oliver because of his agenda. But I was trying to figure out, why is John Oliver steering away from bashing the right and Trump to do some funny piece on WWE? I don't get it. Why is he doing that? Isn't all he does political agenda comedy? Like, it's like comedy hidden. They're actually trying to get their real points out there now through comedy and late night shows because they know no one watches the news anymore. The news has been made. The news has been made as clearly them manipulating you. And because that's been made, now they manipulate you through the comedy shows. That's why the comedy shows aren't really that funny anymore. But I was like, why would he take his time out to do this? And then it became evident, oh, yes. A week ago, Linda became at the campaign. Oh, my God. That's why he's attacking WWE. We get it. So, yeah, it is a very weird and sick thing, but it's true. And then WWE invited him to go to WrestleMania. Oh, come on down, go to WrestleMania, see what it's all about, as if that's what John Oliver... imagine John Oliver in the front row, he's looking around like, oh, you're right, everything I said was wrong now. Look at all the lights. It's like, no, what John Oliver said was right, as far as the wrestlers go, and some of the things he said was right, and was funny. But I wondered why it happened, and there's the real reason why it happened. It wasn't because John Oliver cares about wrestlers. John Oliver doesn't really care about wrestlers. John Oliver doesn't really care about insurance. John Oliver really doesn't care about injuries. John Oliver really doesn't care about the McMahon's morality. John Oliver cares about using people for his agenda, like many other people do. People see people as pets. It's unbelievable. That being said, I think I'm going to get out of here. Guys, it was a fun little thing here we did. It was interesting. I feel like YouTube isn't sending out my videos right now to anybody.
Linda is to blame for everything.
Linda is to blame for everything. Jacob, what's up, Jacob? Maybe. You know what I watched, though, the other day with Linda was I was going back to WrestleMania 17, and I remember how funny it was that night on Mania 17 when she had been in that comatose state, Jacob, and she's just like... And then finally she sits up at WrestleMania 17 after Vince rolls her in the ring and kicks Vince in the balls. Dude, when she stands up, that crowd blows up, dude. That crowd pops crazy for Linda McMahon. And for the moment. It's really good. It's a really good moment. That payoff ended up being huge. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy shit. Yeah, John Oliver gets handed a script every week. That's true. Well, it's true because they sent it to the WWE because they wanted their opinion. They wanted the WWE to say something dumb. So that all that stuff he said was already written. That tells you how fake it is. A lot of the stuff we say here, I'm just making shit up right now. I'm saying stuff off the top of my head. These people don't do that. They read it. They have a script of jokes that they're going to plant in there to change your head. Linda killed wrestling years ago, someone says. Oh, Steve Langenheim. I don't know. Linda McMahon just seems like doesn't have anything to do with anything, you know? Linda McMahon was funny, man. Remember when fucking Kane tombstoned her? Oh my God, dude. Jacob, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, back to work, guys. Have fun. Viewed this. Have fun at work in Massachusetts, my friend. Goddamn, I remember when I was working 3 jobs during doing this show and working 3 different jobs or 2 different jobs. Like, goddamn, I remember I'd have to run out during my break to make a video about wrestling. Like, hey guys, did you hear this guy? AJ Styles is coming to the WWE. I just remember having to run outside all the time, and it was such a pain in the ass. God damn it. And then I'd go back into work, and my boss would be like, fucking suck my dick. And then I would, because that's what I did. Anyway, yeah. See you guys tonight on Out of Nowhere. I'll talk to you guys later. I had a good podcast earlier with Jake, Tommy, me, and Dave. It's really good. It's going up on Patreon in the next hour, so look for that there. Enjoy it. It's really funny. Tommy, I can't even believe, admitted to something. I have no words. Some of it's going to go up on YouTube as well, on youtube.com/corruptedpodcast. Make sure you sub over there if you like my non-wrestling comedy and stuff like that. And yeah, think about becoming a patron, guys. This show continues because of you guys donating and because of you guys being patrons. There's over 30 hours of content a month on Patreon. So get over there. Episode 157 of Morning Madness is up. And I talked about a bunch of shit. You can download it to your phone. And all 157 other episodes as well. Right-click on this orange link to save as on your computer. Or if you're on your phone, there's a little button over here that will be on your phone where you can just click it and download it to your phone. Or you can hit play. But sometimes when you hit play on it and you just leave it, it like shuts off and stuff because Patreon's fucked with some of their stuff. Doesn't work still the right way. But anyway, just shit
FYI.
Bum.
I'll let you know about
For
that.
the McMahons supposedly being so conservative politically, they sure do a lot of SJW-ish shit in the company.
You know, ABELsalas Jr., they are strange. ABELsalas Jr. They are strange, Abel. Because, yes, they're pretty conservative. But then, yeah, they do this SJW pandering. It is very strange that they go both ways. I almost think that it's because you're seeing Stephanie and Triple H. Stephanie and Triple H are more of that SJW, like, corporate, you know, like, whatever. They realize they have to do this to, like, survive as a company. But yet their political values behind the scenes lean conservative. But to me, that I think they're kind of cool in that way because they'll do all these. I don't know if they're cool for it. It's weird. I don't get it. they'll pander to all this hardcore SJW stuff, but then they'll hardcore go the other way with voting for certain business tactics over people's rights and what's I don't know. It is the weirdest thing. They are so strange when it comes to all this because they're I don't know. I guess the best way for me to describe it is they are conservative because all they care about is the bottom line and the money. And if they have to pander to like Special Olympics and stuff like that so that they can grab a buck, they'll do it. I don't know. I'm not really sure, to be honest. It is a conundrum as far as the political stuff because they're extreme in many different ways in the opposite directions. Their opposite extremes are take those and put them together and you have their core values. It seems very strange. It is a political mix unlike you've ever seen in the WWE. I think some of it's good. I think some of the stuff, putting smiles on kids' faces and, doing the Make-A-Wishes and some of the other stuff they do. I don't necessarily like their choice of, cancer, Susan B. Coleman. It'd be nice if they actually went more towards cancer research and not cancer awareness, which is getting people paid with 90% of the money they use going towards awareness and getting people paid in the company to raise awareness. It'd be better if it actually went towards people who have cancer or cancer research, not cancer research awareness. I feel like people are... It's just a way to say, look what we did. Look what we can do. Instead of really doing something. That makes any sense? That being said, I am going to get out of here. We'll see you guys later. Have a good day. And look for those videos coming up in a little while. And I'll see you live tonight for Out of Nowhere at 11 p.m. Eastern Time U.S. Our WrestleMania prediction show live tonight at 11 right here on The Joe Cronin Show. Goodbye, guys.